welcome to the very first video episode of the RENTR Podcast. I'm Meret, I'm your host. This is Kobe, my dog. And today we're going to talk about fashion consulting and how to break into this very specific job in the fashion industry. So please excuse me if I am still not a pro at podcasting, especially video podcasting. Normally I lay in my bed with a face mask on and I yap into the microphone. Today, this is the very first time I got ready. Obviously head to toe in RENTR. I'm wearing a source unknown sweater and a skirt by Junya Watanabe for Comme des Garçons. And I also have a Chanel bag that's not on me currently. And what else am I wearing? I'm wearing mango earrings, Cartier watch, and I don't know, vintage knee-high boots. Okay, so this is the outfit. And today, we're going to talk about fashion consulting. I talked about how to become a fashion stylist in my prior episodes. I also covered the question of how to build a good portfolio for yourself. And I also talked in my last episode about how to navigate fashion press, PR samples, etc., etc. So if this is your first episode and you strictly want to go into fashion consulting, you're right. If you are a stylist looking to maybe broaden your services for clients, then you should definitely listen to the older episodes before. All right, but let's get into it. So let's start. How to break into fashion consulting. So as I said, I'm very excited about today's episode because we're diving into a topic that's been on the rise in the fashion world. How to break it in fashion consulting. This is a fantastic career path and I really enjoy helping you finding the dream career you have. Okay, so whether you're a fashion stylist, a designer, or entrepreneur, fashion consulting allows you to leverage your expertise to influence personal styles, brand identities, and entire fashion collections. So today we'll cover a step-by-step process to help you break into it. And I think it's actually a really exciting field because you can do so many different things as a fashion consultant. So I will just give you the basics, from building your experience to pricing your services. I will also do an upcoming episode on the pricing and the whole finance stuff. I know it's not sexy, but it's necessary. So that will be the next episode. So if you did not subscribe to RENTR yet and you're interested, I would love you to subscribe to my podcast. Okay, so the first point today will be understanding. Okay, so Kobe will be part of this. First of all, understanding what fashion consulting is. Before you jump in, it's important to have a clear understanding of what fashion consulting entails. Fashion consulting is about offering professional advice to clients, whether they're individuals, brands, or organizations, to help them achieve their desired style or business goals in fashion. It can be as personal as advising someone on how to dress for their body shape and lifestyle, or as strategic as guiding a fashion brand's creative direction, marketing, and merchandising decisions. So as a consultant, your role includes different type of things. For example, you can help clients curate wardrobes or prepare for specific events. Then you can also advise brands on trends and forecasting. You can do collection planning or even product development. And another thing is offering strategic advice on marketing campaigns and positioning within the fashion industry. So obviously also a growing part of fashion consulting today is sustainability because clients are increasingly looking for ways to make their wardrobes eco-friendly and brands want to reduce their environmental impact. As a consultant, helping your clients navigate the world of fashion rentals or advising brands on how to incorporate sustainability into their collection is becoming more and more valuable, which means clients are also more and more willing to pay you for your skills. Talking about skills, the second point is accessing your skills and finding your niche. So to become successful as a fashion consultant, the first thing you need to do is taking stock of your current skills. Ask yourself, what are aspects of fashion that you are really passionate about. What are fields in fashion that you really have like a lot of knowledge already? Do I have a particular area of expertise like trend forecasting or personal styling or brand strategy? These are like good questions that you can ask yourself. And how comfortable am I working with different types of clients, whether individual or corporate? Because I know like some girls maybe come from like corporate girly background, others don't, and you have like different like preferences, but you can do everything with consulting. Like this self-assessment that you will do with those questions will help you to figure out where your strengths lie and what niche you should focus on. So for example, you might be really great at personal styling. So you help clients develop a wardrobe that reflects their personal style and their lifestyle, or perhaps you have deep understanding of the business side of fashion and you want to focus on advising brands on how to position themselves in the market. Another area to consider is your knowledge of current fashion technology trends. So, for example, I have like a long history with technology as well. So if I would do consulting today, I would probably go into this because I kind of have like a lot of knowledge about like the technical side of building fashion products and like AI and blockchain and all of that. So this is like, for example, something that I could use in my career as a consultant if I didn't do RENTR, for example. Okay. So third thing, gain relevant experience. Even if you're passionate about fashion and have great ideas, clients need to see that you have relevant experience before they hire you as their consultant. So how do you get that experience? There's like different ways how you can do it. First of all, it's like work for free. Like when starting out, I know it's not sexy and I really don't want to sound like this person saying it's like normal to work for free. And I know it's also like a really, really, really big like privilege to be able to work for free. But like especially early in your career, like offering free or low cost service can be a great way to build your portfolio and kind of gain credibility. So reach out to friends, family, small local brands and offer your styling or consulting services in exchange for testimonials and the permission to showcase your work. So this can be especially helpful if you're transitioning from like another area of fashion like design or PR into consulting. Another option is obviously like freelancing or interning. So if working for free isn't possible, consider freelancing or interning at established fashion houses, consulting agencies, or even styling firms. Like working under seasoned professionals will give you hands-on experience and like insights into how the consulting world operates. You'll also be able to make valuable industry connections that can help you to like land your first paying clients. One thing that I really want to stress is get as much experience as you can, obviously, but also like at different places. Like if you worked for 5 years for the same company, let's say, or for like the same person, you still won't have as much experience. You might know like how everything runs in like this like certain company, for example, but you won't have like a better overall view if you don't work in like different companies with different people, because it really really matters. Like for me, I obviously like learned a lot from like my mentors, like the people that I worked for a really really long time, but I also just did so many different jobs at like different places that I kind of had the opportunity to like grab like the best out of each and like make it my own way to like work and operate. Because if you only learn like one way to operate or like work, it will kind of limit you in the future. And it's better to test out different things and like see what works for you and what doesn't, and then kind of combine it to like your own workflow. Because if you're only in one company and they might do a lot of things wrong, but you don't know better because you haven't worked like in the second place. So that's what I would like recommend you to do. And then another thing, obviously, like coming to the last point, is social media as a portfolio. Like especially when you're getting started, you don't need a huge budget or like a big name client to like start building a portfolio, but you can use platforms like Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest. Like there's this one girl on TikTok that does a really, really good job. She's also like a personal stylist. And what she does now is like working with professional athletes. And I think she started out with one of her high school friends that got drafted, I think, for the NBA or NFL. And she filmed little like behind the scenes vlogs, how she prepped his outfits for like, I don't know, I think it's called the walkout, like when athletes like come from the bus and they walk to like their changing rooms or like the court. But that's like the moment where like a lot of people like take pictures of them, and that's why most of the athletes like really care about their outfits or like their appearance in that moment. So lots of them actually have personal stylists, and some of them don't, but they might look for one, or maybe they just don't know it's out there. So it's important that you put yourself out there. So what she did, she had like this one friend, she posted all of this content, and I think now she does 4 or 5 NBA players from the same team. So it's perfect because you can like travel with them and can like prep their outfits. I assume she got them through either social media or word of mouth, because that one other player that she's styling. But it's actually really, really great because she built a platform. She's also now kind of like an influencer. So I'm sure she makes money off that as well. So yeah, definitely work with TikTok, Instagram, whatsoever, especially if you are looking also at a younger audience of clients. That's super important. Okay, so building a standout portfolio. Your portfolio is the most valuable asset as a fashion consultant. It's how potential clients will assess your skills and decide if they want to work with you. But what should your portfolio include? Also, side note, like I really go into depth into this on another episode, so check it out if you haven't yet. But I would like briefly go over it. So first of all, obviously variety of work. Showcase different range of styles and clients in your portfolio. If you've worked on editorial shoots, include those images with explanations of the creative direction you provided. If you've done personal styling, include before and after photos along with testimonials from clients who can vouch for your work, kind of. Also use real life projects, like document any collaborations you have done with brands, designers, influencers, especially if you've used rented pieces or like pulled them from designers. Also like really, really good for your portfolio. And this kind of shows that you're like, yeah, you have like lots of skills and they see your aesthetic and how you create. And I think this is like super, super cool and very important to stress this. Yeah, as I said, like testimonials, push that as well, like include result based evidence of your work. Like, did you help a brand boost sales by refining its product offerings? Did a client feel more confident after you styled them for an event? If you have the chance, take videos or photos of them, like interview them, have like a little good quote that you can put either on your website, on your social media, whatsoever. What's really, really important here is that every time you post something that you did with other people, you should definitely credit them and name them. So, for example, if you have an editorial on your website and you post the images and you describe your vision, your art direction, the part you contributed, that's obviously okay. But you also need to think of all the other people who like contributed to that project, and you have to credit them for 2 reasons. Obviously, first one, you want to like stay in contact with them, want to stay on good terms with them. And a lot of people understandably don't really like seeing their work in portfolios of other people and it's not clear who did what. So you should definitely do that. And the second reason being is obviously the copyright. Make sure you credit everyone and then you're like on the safe side of things. But you really don't want to have like a lawsuit, worst case, with someone because you published their work on your website and you don't have their permission. So best case, if you are on set with the people, make sure you like clearly communicate that you will put this onto your portfolio or send this to person XYZ in this time frame, so everybody's kind of aligned on this. Okay, so another thing would be identifying and carving out a niche. So one of the best ways to set yourself apart as a fashion consultant is by carving out a niche. While it might be tempting to offer like broad services specializing allows you to become an expert in a specific area and charge a premium for your expertise. So obviously, if you're like an expert for something, you can charge more. I mean, it could be any niche you want, but I will like give you some examples that in my opinion, would make sense. So first of all, obviously, we're talking about rent, we're talking about sustainability. So sustainable fashion consulting is one really big area. Like with sustainability becoming a top concern for many consumers and brands, this niche is like only growing, obviously. You could help individual create eco-friendly wardrobes, advise brands on sustainable sourcing, or help promote, for example, rental fashion is like a viable alternative to fast fashion. Another really big niche is obviously luxury and like high-end fashion. So some clients or brands focus exclusively on high-end fashion, and your role could be to help individuals build luxury wardrobes, incorporating the pieces they already own into their daily life, and advising luxury brands on market positioning, product launches, influencers, like relevant people like in their niche to work with to strengthen their brand. And another thing that I think is really interesting is tech-enabled fashion consulting. Like from 2022 on, it has become a part of the fashion industry. So whether it's using AI for trend forecasting or using blockchain in the authenticity process, like being a tech expert can give you a huge edge in fashion consulting. And it really sets you apart from a lot of people because, yeah, it's tech. Another thing is inclusivity and diversity consulting. It's like another growing area in fashion. So many brands are realizing the importance of designing for all body types, cultures, abilities. And if you have a passion for that, or even like a degree for making fashion more inclusive, this could be a very powerful niche because that's something I see a lot by now. And I think it makes a lot of sense to like look into this. So by specializing, you position yourself as an expert, making it easier for clients to find and hire you. And once you've defined your niche, make sure you showcase it in your portfolio, your website, your social media, like throughout your online persona. So another really tricky thing, as I said, I want to talk about this in detail in the next episode, is setting rates and building a client base. So setting your rates can be tricky, especially when you're just starting. Like I know what I'm talking about because I really worked for free for too long. You don't want to underprice yourself, but you also want to remain competitive, especially when you're building your portfolio. So a few common pricing strategies that help are obviously hourly rate. So you could charge an hourly rate. This is probably ideal for smaller project like personal stylings or like short-term things. And you could like research what other consultants in your niche are kind of charging, and then you have that as a baseline and can see how you do your pricing. Then you can do it obviously per project. Like if you have larger projects, like consulting for a fashion brand's collection or overseeing like an entire launch, you might charge like a flat fee for this. This can like include all aspects of the consulting process, from trend forecasting to styling, marketing advice, you name it. Another thing that's really common are retainers. So if you're working with a brand over a really long term, you may want to set up a retainer. This gives you consistent income and allows also the brand to access your services whenever they need you or your advice or help. Yeah, it's like perfect for freelancers if you don't like really want to take a job somewhere full time. As you gain more experience, you can raise your rates and take on bigger clients, obviously. Word of mouth is one of the like best ways to grow your client base. So offer outstanding service to your early clients and they likely refer you to others. That's my experience, and I think it's very important, especially in the beginning. Additionally, you could also leverage platforms like LinkedIn. I think LinkedIn is really powerful as well to like showcase your work and attract clients or like connect with people that can help you or are might interested in working with you. Again, I think I stress this every episode, but 7 point would be network and market yourself. To build a successful career in fashion consulting, surprise, you need to market yourself and grow your network. Networking is key in the fashion industry, and the relationships you build will be instrumental in landing clients. Like, it's super important. I know a lot of people actually they really hate going out to those events, but it's important. Attend industry events, fashion shows, pop-up events, trade fairs. Everything is great to meet potential clients and collaborators, and building relationships within the industry can also lead to exciting partnerships with designers and brands and influencers. Yeah. Another thing, obviously, like, use social media strategically. As I told you, this is like a really good point as well. Like the girl from TikTok, for example, it's really a powerful tool, and you can do a lot of things like behind the scenes content, client transformations, trend insights. Yeah, update your services like all the time and showcase everything you do. Then obviously also leverage your network, like keep in touch with past clients, colleagues, and collaborators. The fashion world is highly interconnected, and staying in touch can like lead to referrals or new projects. And if you work with a brand in the past, let them know about your consulting services. Brands are also like often looking for like fresh insights or new strategies. Also, if you worked with them before, you can like loop back to them and like expand your existing relationship, and this will open you more doors. Another thing of collaborating with other stylists or fashion consultants on joint projects can also increase your visibility. So if you find other fashion consultants that you think are interesting, you can also like offer them to like join their team as an intern, for example. Yeah. So that's like a really, really good point. Okay, so another big thing is obviously staying updated on trends and evolving your service. Like, the fashion world is constantly evolving, and as a consultant, it's critical to stay up to date with the latest trends, technologies, news, consumer behaviors. And there are like a few things that I would like give you here, like as a tip to how to make sure you're staying relevant. First of all, really, really important, ongoing education. Fashion is always changing, and so should your knowledge. Stay updated on industry reports, new technologies like AI or blockchain, and also emerging designers. Attend workshops, online courses, read books, go to conferences. Another thing is embracing new technologies. Like, as fashion increasingly intersects with technology, you'll need to understand how tools like AI, virtual try-ons, and augmented reality shopping are shaping the industry. Like, clients and brands may seek out consultants who are familiar with these advancements and can help integrate them into their strategy or personal experiences. So yeah, that's really important, like evolving your niche. Like, that's another point. As you grow your consulting business, don't be afraid to evolve. Maybe you started as a personal stylist, but you have developed a deep passion for sustainability or tech. And it's okay to shift your focus or expand your services over time. Like, staying flexible and adapting to where the industry is going is key to like long-term success, I would say. And we all love educated women. Like, education and like learning new things is like the best thing ever. And especially as we get older, sometimes we kind of forget to learn new things. And I think being up to date, like reading the news, reading industry reports, this all kind of contributes you to like being open. Like, your brain is kind of developing better because you are learning new stuff, and you're allowing yourself to get used to like new stuff, and you will like soon see that the more you learn, the quicker it will go. And I totally understand if you're like a creative person and you really hate numbers, you really hate graphs and statistics and all of that. But I would also say it's really important to like do things you don't want to do, like especially foreshadowing to the next episode, or like finances. Like, there's a lot of stuff you really don't want to do, but you have to do it. Like, one source that I really can like recommend is like the Business of Fashion website, and they also offer like an professional subscription. I think it's like 30-ish, I think like 30 euros a month or so. And it's really, really worth it because they publish a lot of industry reports. So that means like different statistics and, like articles about different topics, like AI, for example. You can research consumer behavior for specific cohorts, all of that. And I would really say it's worth a try, because you're also getting like lots of news in. You can like customize your kind of email newsletter from them. I have like the daily update, and it's really good. Like, this is like not paid at all, I wish, but it's like really, really good. And maybe my main suggestion if you're into like reading, and if you're not into reading, get into reading, because yes, it just brings you like further in life in general. Also, what I really want to like highlight here is that we are also doing like daily fashion news on our TikTok account. So if you follow us on TikTok or joined our WhatsApp community group, you're getting daily, really short fashion news. So if you want to stay up to date, you don't have the time maybe to like go through all the long articles. We kind of collect like the top 4 to 6 breaking news, and we'll report them to you like really, really quickly in like short bits. So every morning you're kind of up to date. So yeah, if you don't follow us on TikTok or on WhatsApp, everything is linked in the description of this episode. So I would really appreciate you looking into this, because yeah, we're putting in a lot of effort because we really think it helps you gaining more understanding for the whole fashion industry. Okay, kind of coming to a conclusion here. Breaking into fashion consulting is an exciting journey that offers endless possibilities for creativity, business growth, and personal fulfillment as well. Like, from understanding the fundamentals of consulting to building a strong portfolio, networking, and collaborating, you now kind of have a roadmap to get started. And I think this really, really matters and it's like important. And I like starting this podcast it really mattered to me to like enable people to get started in fashion and don't have like the fucking gatekeeping everywhere. Remember, fashion consulting is about offering value to your clients, whether that's helping them develop a more sustainable wardrobe, advising brands on their market strategy. So as I said, it's really important to stay up to date, to stay relevant. If you're an expert in a niche, like if you find something that's really interesting, promise you, go down the rabbit hole, like know everything about this topic, and then you will get clients if they really need you for this topic that will pay a lot of money for your knowledge. So it's worth it. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to subscribe and share this maybe also with other fashion girlies or fashion bros in your like friend circle. I would really appreciate that. And yeah, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time on the RENTR Podcast. Don't skip the next episode, even though it will sound boring, like financials and everything, but it is important. It is important. Okay, thank you so much. Have a great evening, day, whatever you're doing. And also, if you have any comments, any questions, leave them either under the podcast or under our Reels, TikToks, whatever, and I will try my best to answer them. I can get back to you directly. You can also reach out to me via emails, all in the show notes. But if you have any ideas, suggestions, improvements for the podcast, let me know, because I'm like getting started. Like, I'm not a pro at all.